So the question first is, who recently announced that India is on track to become world's third largest economy? Option C is correct. Sanjay Malhotra. According to RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra, which scheme played a major role in India's inclusive economic growth? Option B, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. As per the report, how many bank accounts have been opened under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana? Option D, 55 crore. What was India's GDP growth rate in April-June quarter of financial year 2025-2026, the highest in 5 quarters? Correct option is C, 7.8%. According to RBI's August 2025 bulletin, private sector capex in financial year 2025-26 is projected to grow by 21.5%. Capex is capital expenditure. The total estimated private sector capex capital expenditure for financial year 2025 to 26 is 2.67 lakh crore. Which sector is leading the rise in private investment according to RBI report? Option B, infrastructure. The RBI expects a policy rate cut of approximately 100 basic points. The RBI bulletin titled Private Corporate Investment Growth in 2024 to 25 and Outlook for 25 to 26 attributes rising capex mainly to improved profitability and funding access. The Ministry of Finance 2025 notification proposes raising FDI in India's insurance sector to what limit? Option D is correct, 100%. The new FDI proposal in the insurance sector will be governed under which rules? Option B is correct, Indian Insurance Company Amendment Rule 2025. Which authority will verify FDI proposal in the insurance sector under the new rule? Correct option is C, IRDAI. What is the expected annual growth rate of India's insurance sector? Correct option is 7.1%. Okay, please write down the full form of IRDAI in comment box. The FDI in the insurance sector under the new proposal will be allowed through which route? Correct option is C, automatic route. What was India's total GST collection in August 2025? Option B, 1.86 trillion. By what percentage did GST collection rise year on year in August 2025? Correct option is B, 6.5%. What was the net GST revenue after refunds in August 2025? Correct option is C, 1.67 trillion. What was the percentage decline in refund process compared to last year? Option C, 20%. Which of the following factors mainly contributed to the decline in export-related refunds? Option B, geopolitical tensions and new US tariffs. India's current account deficit in quarter 1 financial year 26 stood at option C, $214 billion. 21, CAD, that is current account deficit in quarter 1 financial year 26 was what percentage of GDP? So correct option is B, 0.2%. Which factor most contributed to the narrowing of gap in quarter 1 financial year 26? Option C, surge in remittances. Next question, net services received in quarter 1 financial year 26 were approximately C, This is the correct option, $47.9 billion. India's good trade deficit in Q1 financial year 26 was option B, $68.5 billion. Morgan Stanley has revised India's GDP growth forecast for financial year 25-26 to what level? Option C is correct, 6.7%. What was India's GDP growth rate in Q1 financial year 25-26 which led to the forecast upgrade? Option D, 7.8%. Which of the following factors primarily contributed to the upward revision of India's GDP forecast? Option B, strong Q1 growth, GST cuts, and festive demand. According to the report, rural demand remains resilient mainly because of option C, good monsoon and strong Kharif sowing. What is the estimated net drag on India's GDP growth from external demand as per Morgan Stanley's report? Option C, 50 basis point. What was India's HSBC Service PMI Purchasing Manager Index in August 2025, marking a 15-year high? So correct option is C, that is 62.9. August 25 composite PMI of 63.2 reflects growth in which sectors? Option B is correct, services and manufacturing. What was the main reason behind the surge in services PMI? Option B, strong domestic and international demand. When was the last time India's services output price inflation was this high? Option B, July 2012. Which major risks could affect India's services sector momentum despite the high PMI? Correct option is C, 50% US tariff on Indian import. The free trade agreement between India and EFTA bloc will officially come into force on which date? Option C, 1st October 2025. Next question is, which of the following countries is not a member of the European Free Trade Association, EFTA? So, Switzerland is the member, Norway is the member, even Iceland is the member. So, correct option is Sweden, which is not a member of European Free Trade Association. Under the India after TEPA, that is TP, how much investment commitment has been made by the EFTA nation over 15 years? So the correct option is C, USD 100 billion. In the comment box, please write down what is the full form of TPA. In India, EFTA and TPA is notable for being India's first trade deal to include legally binding provisions on which of the following areas? So option B, environment, labor and human rights. India will induce or eliminate important duties on which of the following Swiss products under the agreement? So the correct option is B, watches, chocolates and cut and polished diamond. During April-June financial year 26, India's FDI inflows rose by 15%. According to the 2025 Union Budget proposal, the FDI limit in insurance companies may be raised from 74% to 100%. Which country emerged as the largest source of FDI in India during quarter 1 financial year 26? Option D, United States. Which sector attracted the highest FDI inflows in April-June financial year 26? So the option B, computer software and hardware. What is the main reason business face interest on credit issues after GST rate cut? Option B, their input tax credit, that is ITC, exceeds the GST collected from customers. So option B is the correct answer. How does the GST rate cut affect a company's cash flow? Option B, it blocks funds in the form of unused ITC. Why do companies end up paying interest on borrowed money after GST rate cut? So option B is correct. Their refunds are delayed, forcing them to borrow for working capital. What is one of major impact of GST related interest on credit issues for businesses? So option D is correct. Squeezed profitability due to higher interest cost. Who recently emphasized that agriculture contributes 15 to 20% of India's economic output? So the correct option is B, Ajay Kumar Sood. According to the principal scientific advisor, what percentage of India's workforce is sustained by agriculture? So the correct option is C, 60%. What new initiative was announced by ICAR during the Dialogue Next 2025 event? Option C is correct. That is National Plant Health Mission. Which of the following is not a focus area of the National Plant Health Mission? Option C is correct. Subsidies for farm machinery. Next question is, what is the expected outcome of the National Plant Health Mission? Option B is correct. Improve crop yields and farmer income stability. According to Moody's rating, India's new GST reform will primarily boost which of the following? So, the correct option is B, household consumption and economic activity. Next question is, until what date will tobacco products continue to be taxed under the existing 28% GST plus cess system? Option B, 31st December 2025. Under the new GST structure effective from 22nd September 2025, how many main tax slabs will remain? So the option is C, 2. What is the special GST rate applicable to luxury goods and tobacco under the new regime? So the correct option is C, 40%. According to Fitch Ratings, what is India's revised GDP growth forecast for financial year 2025? So the correct option is C, 6.9%. Which key factor did Fitch cite as a major driver of India's improved growth outlook? Option C, strong domestic demand and consumer spending. When did Fitch announce the upgrade to India's financial year 25 growth forecast? So option C is correct, September 2025. Which of the following trends supports India's growth resilience according to Fitch? So option C is correct, supportive financial conditions and corporate recovery. As of July 2025, what is the total value of insurance surety bond ISBs issued for NHAI projects? So the correct option is C, 10,369 crore. How many insurance companies have issued insurance secret bonds for NHAI contracts as of July 2025? So the correct option is C, 12. What is the main advantage of insurance surety bonds over traditional bank guarantees BGs? So the correct option is B, reduction in financial strain and capital blockage for contractors. In an insurance surety bond, who acts as a surety? So the option B is correct. Insurance company. India's retail inflation CPI in August 2025 rose to which level? Option B, 2.07%. The August 2025 CPI inflation rate remains below which target set by the Reserve Bank of India? Option C, 4%. Which sector recorded higher price pressure in August 2025? So, the correct option is B, urban areas. According to MOSPI, the rise in inflation was mainly driven by which factor? Option C, food and essential items. Next, what was India's WPI-based inflation rate in August 2025? So the correct option is C, 0.52%. What was WPI inflation rate in August 2024? The correct option is B, 0.58% decline. According to the Reuters poll, what was the market expected WPI inflation for August 2025? So correct option is C, 0.3%. What was India's merchandise trade deficit in August 2025? Option B, $26.49 billion. By how much did India's exports to the United States decline between July and August 2025? So correct option is B, $1.15 billion. What was the primary reason behind the fall in India's export to the US in August 2025? So the correct option is C, high US tariff on Indian goods. What tariff rate did the United States impose on Indian goods in August 2025? So correct option is C, 25% and 50%. According to the PLFS August 25 data, India's overall unemployment rate fell to 5.1%. The rural unemployment rate declined from 5.1% in May to what level in August 2025? So the correct option is B, 4.3%. The female worker population ratio WPR rose from 30.2% in June to dash in August 2025. Correct option is 32%. In August 2025, which group recorded a 5-month low unemployment rate of 5%? And the correct option is male worker. How many individuals were covered in PLFS August 2025 survey? So the correct option is 5,92,734. According to S&P Global Ratings, what is India's projected GDP growth rate for financial year 2025? So the correct option is C, 6.5%. Which organization released the report projecting India's economic growth for financial year 2025? The correct option is B, S&P Global Ratings. According to the report, which factors are driving India's sustained growth? So the correct option is B, policy stability, reform, and infrastructure investment. Next, what position will India hold among major economies in financial year 2025 as per S&P? So the correct option is B, fastest growing. What future trends did S&P highlight for India's economy? Option B, global trade integration and productivity gains. According to the latest S&P Global Rating report, India's GDP is projected to grow by how much in financial year 2025? Option C, 6.5%. Which global credit rating agency released a recent report projecting India's GDP growth? So option C, Standard and Poor's, that is S&P. According to S&P, India will remain the option B, fastest growing major economy. So, next question, which of the following factor was not mentioned as a driver of India's growth in the S&P report? Option D, population decline. Which initiative has supported India's manufacturing sector according to the report? So the option is C, correct. Make in India and PLI schemes. What role does domestic consumption play in India's growth story? So option B, it remains a key growth driver due to large consumer base. Which Japanese credit ratings agency upgraded India's foreign currency issuers rating to triple B plus in September 2025? So the correct option is C, Rating and Investment Information INC. Next question is, what is the new rating assigned to India by RNI in its latest review? That is triple B plus. How many sovereign credit rating upgrades has India received in 2025 so far? Option C, 3. Which credit rating agency upgraded India's rating in August 2025? Option B, S&P Global Ratings. What key factors was cited by RNI for India's rating upgrade? So the correct option is B, strong domestic demand, prudent fiscal management, and external stability. On which date was India's first comprehensive report on logistic cost released? So the option is B, 20th September 2025. Who launched India's first official logistic cost report? Option C, Piyush Goyal. As per the new report, India's logistic cost is estimated at what percentage of GDP? So the correct option is B, 7.97%. The new logistic cost estimation is based on which methodological approach? Option C, hybrid methodology combining secondary data and large scale surveys. What does the report indicate about India's logistic efficiency? So the correct option is B. Growth in logistic cost is slower than output growth. Next, in August 2025, India's index of 8 core industries register what year-on-year growth rate? So option C is correct, 6.3%. Which of the following sectors showed a strong performance in IGI data for August 2025? So the correct option is B, steel and cement. The index of 8 core industries, that is ICI, accounts for approximately what percentage of index of industrial production IIP, that is the option C, 40.27%. Which of the following industries is not part of the 8 core industries in India? So you have fertilizers, we have electricity, we have cement, but not automobiles. Which ministry releases the monthly data on the index of 8 core industries? The option B is correct, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. According to S&P Global Rating, what is India's projected GDP growth rate for financial year 26? So the correct option is B, 6.5%. Which factor has helped stabilize rural incomes and agricultural output in India, according to the report? So option C, a benign monsoon season. S&P latest GDP outlook for India's highlights which of the following as a main engine of growth? So option B is correct, that is domestic demand. Which recent policy measures have boosted consumer spending capacity according to S&P? So option C, recent income and GST tax cuts. What was India's GDP growth in April-June 2025 quarter as per the report? Option C, 7.8%. According to the Indian Cellular and Electronic Association (ICEA), by how much did India's smartphone exports to the United States rise year on year in August 2025? So the correct option is C, 148%. What was the total value of India's smartphone exports to the US in August 2025? The correct option is B, USD 965 million. During April-August financial year 26, India's smartphone exports to the US stood at USD 8.43 billion. According to ICA, what is India's largest performing export segment under the Production Linked Incentive PLI scheme over the last 5 years? Option D, smartphones. What was India's industrial output IIP growth in August 2025? So the correct option is option B, 4%. Which sector showed the strongest rebound in August 2025? Correct option is C, mining. What was the growth rate of the manufacturing sector in August 2025? Correct option is option B, 3.8%. The growth in electricity output in August 2025 was option C, 4.1%. The growth in electricity output in August 2025 was option C, 4.1%. Next, what percentage does the dairy sector contribute to India's national economy? Correct option is option C, 5%. How much India has milk production increased between 2014-15 and 23-24? So the correct option is C, 63.56%. Approximately how many farmers are directly supported by India's dairy sector? So correct option is C, 8 crore. What is the average annual growth rate of India's milk production over the past decade? So the correct option is option B, 5.7%. So that's all for today. Thank you all for watching it. See you in the next video. Please subscribe to my channel so that you will get notification for my next video. Click on like button and share to all your friends as you can. If you like my video, please write down in comments. If you need any help, if you need PDF, just write down in comments. Thank you all. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.